Remembrance Week is in full swing as the SU community comes together to remember those we lost in the terrorist attack on Pan Am Flight 103.
And the general election is less than 2 weeks away. We sit down with the Onondaga County Board of Elections to see if voting fraud could be an issue this election.
And the Climate Assessment Planning Committee is sharing the results of a survey about learning, living, and working environment on campus.
From the CitrusTV studios, this is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to CitrusTV News live at 6. I'm Alex Amico.
And I'm Jackie Prager. The Syracuse Climate Survey is in, and that's our top story tonight. The university is updating students about the results of the campus climate survey. The Climate Assessment Planning Committee held sessions today to discuss the findings of last spring's survey. The study found 34% of students have at one point considered leaving the school.
The main reason for the thoughts were feelings of isolation. Minority and homosexual populations reported that they felt oppressed by their fellow students. The session concluded, students and staff remained generally happy with the university.
Remembrance Week continues today. Events throughout the entire week honor the 35 students who lost their lives in 1988 terrorist bombing. Tonight there will be a screening of the film My Brother's Bomber at 6 p.m. in Newhouse 3. The film takes a deeper look into the bombing and the investigation that followed. The film screening will be followed by a question and answer with the filmmaker. Tomorrow afternoon, the Remembrance Scholars will host the annual rose-laying ceremony.
Artist Emily Lingscheit will speak on campus tonight as a part of the Visiting Artist Lecture Series. Her art focuses on the connections between nature and the things that are man-made. The event will be held in Shemin Auditorium in the Schaefer Art Building from 6:30 to 8 o'clock tonight. And Hendricks Chapel is hosting a Halloween-themed organ concert tomorrow night. SU student organists will perform during the Face Your Fears holiday experience. Treats and costume items will be provided, and admission is free for students and the public. The concert is from 11 p.m. to midnight.
Faculty at both Syracuse University and SUNY ESF are receiving awards from the Center for Excellence for their research projects. 12 different faculty members won a total of $114,000. The faculty members will act as CEO fellow for 3 years. 2 new people will have the positions as Special Collections Research Center. Margaret Manson will act as a university archivist, and Andrew Saluti will be chief curator. Both held assistant positions at the center prior to their appointments.
At least 7 million gallons of raw sewage is sitting in Onondaga Lake. Heavy rainfall last weekend broke a sewer pipe and dumped the sewage into the lake. The county says the pipe has yet to be repaired, but sewage is no longer flowing into the lake due to lower water levels. County officials say the pipe will be repaired this weekend. No major health or environmental impacts were reported.
Safety concerns in Onondaga County School forced children with emotional disabilities to relocate. The Kazan Road Day Treatment Center serves elementary school children. The school is located near a busy road, making it hazardous for students. About 30 students will be displaced, and 15 are expected to enter the Syracuse City School District. Governor Cuomo and the New York State Police will crack down on drunk drivers this Halloween weekend. Local law enforcement agencies will increase patrols starting tomorrow. Cuomo stated the Halloween initiative last year resulting in 167 drunk driving arrests.
Netflix has released a list of the best cities to go trick-or-treating, and 2 of them are in central New York. The study, called Pause and Effect, compared the pauses during viewing on October 31st last year during trick-or-treat times. Among the 5 candy capitals listed, the study ranks Binghamton and Watertown at number 2 and 4, respectively. The study also found that 7:29 p.m. is the peak time for trick-or-treating. And the general election is less than 2 weeks away, and the Onondaga County Board of Elections is working to ensure no voter fraud amidst allegations by Donald Trump that the election could be rigged. CitrusTV's Megan Mystery looked into whether or not voter fraud is an issue here in central New York.
Republican nominee Donald Trump has maintained for weeks that this year's election is rigged.
It's a rigged
broken, corrupt system.
But Dustin Zarni says voter fraud isn't an issue for this or any election.
Most of the time when we've suspected voter fraud, it turned out to be voter error instead. Maybe somebody signing in the book under the wrong name, or a father signing in for a son that they have the same name. But in the common lexicon of massive voter fraud, that just does not happen.
Zarni says the Onondaga County Board of Elections isn't anticipating any issues.
We're doing what we always do, which is we always have bipartisan teams of officials at every step of the way along the election process, whether it's voter registration, absentee voters, or right up into the polling place on Election Day, or preparing the machines.
Voters have begun to cast their absentee ballots, and the Onondaga County Board of Elections is working to secure polling places across the county. While they say they're not worried about voter fraud or intimidation, U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch says that less election inspectors will be issued across the nation this year. Lynch said in a video that a recent Supreme Court ruling reined in the Justice Department's authority, giving states the power over election law.
The federal Justice Department has said because they don't have that authority to pre-clear, to approve those election law changes in these states anymore, they don't have the legal justification for sending in these election monitors.
Keck says less election inspectors will mostly affect swing states, and New York won't see any changes. Megan Mystery, Citrus TV News.
And Commissioner Zarni also says that to ensure no voter intimidation takes place, no one will be allowed at polling sites with any candidate-related material. The general election takes place Tuesday, November 8th, and polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Today, nearly 36 recruits will be sworn in as new sheriff deputies in Onondaga County. Sheriff Gene Conway will conduct a ceremony at Onondaga Community College at 7 p.m. The new deputies will begin their training on Monday at the Central New York Regional Law Enforcement Academy. A 14-year-old boy is facing prison time after pleading guilty to 2 separate counts of first-degree armed robbery. The victims were a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old who said the boy held a knife to them and stole their cell phones. The boy claimed his troubled childhood surrounded by the violence in the Somali Civil War was the cause for the robbery. The boy was sentenced to 1 to 4 years in state prison for his crimes.
Syracuse police are looking for the individual who shot a man on the west side last night. The suspect was last seen fleeing from the scene with a group of men after shooting a 49-year-old man in the leg. The victim's injury is not life-threatening, and anyone with information should contact the Syracuse Police Department. A Syracuse man arrested for robbing a woman and her kids at knife point is now facing 7 charges. Richard Darwish approached the family in the Destiny USA parking lot. He stole the woman's car, drove away, and was arrested on Apple Street where he left the car. Darwish has been charged before and faces 24 charges. He is currently in jail without bail.
Coming up, animal populations around the world are declining drastically.
And the first economic growth rates are out post-Brexit. We'll be right back.
You can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend.
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Victims of last year's Amtrak crash in Philadelphia will be getting payouts quicker than expected. Amtrak is agreeing to pay more than $260 million to settle claims today. 8 people were killed and more than 200 were injured when a speeding train derailed at a curve in the track in 2015, and the money will be paid starting late February.
The roommate of a gay man who committed suicide back in 2010 has pleaded guilty to attempted invasion of privacy. Darun Ravi filmed his roommate kissing another man on a webcam, ultimately leading to his roommate's death. Last month, a court threw out a 15-count conviction in the case. Under the agreement, Ravi will serve 30 days in jail and receive probation. Ravi could have faced 10 years in prison.
The U.S. and its allies have killed between 800 and 900 ISIS fighters in their campaign to retake Mosul. The Pentagon estimates that nearly 3,000 ISIS fighters remain in the city. Clashes between ISIS fighters and U.S. troops are expected to intensify as the forces approach the city. People in the Philippines are protesting outside the U.S. Embassy. 12 people were injured and 29 arrested during the protests on Wednesday. The demonstration turned violent as a police van reportedly drove into the crowd of protesters. The protests occurred as Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte visited Beijing to strengthen ties with China.
By 2020, populations of vertebrate species could fall by 67% from 1970 levels. Researchers say global wildlife populations have fallen an average of 58% since 1970. They say the growing human population, overfishing, hunting, and the destruction of habitats are causing the decline. The UN says 2016 is the deadliest year on record for refugees crossing the Mediterranean Sea. At least 3,800 migrants have died in their attempt to reach Europe. The UN says many migrants drown each week from capsized boats. The increase in deaths comes after a deal between the European Union and Turkey closed off the eastern route to Europe earlier this year.
Central regions of Italy are experiencing more earthquakes. A series of minor earthquakes struck Marche and Umbria regions. Many towns have lost more than 2/3 of available housing. Residents have resorted to staying in campers and vehicles. Many mayors raised concerns about elderly residents. Great Britain's economic growth has been faster than most expected post-Brexit. The Office of National Statistics says the British economy grew by a quarterly rate of 0.5%. This was down from the last quarter, but the growth rate beat predictions by 0.2%. This news comes 3 months after the country voted to leave the European Union.
Coming up on Citrus TV News, will this rain go away soon? Weather reporter Brendan Tierney joins us with our full weather forecast.
There are new internet rules that the FCC says will help protect your privacy. Stay with us.
Straight day, students woke up to a coat of snow on the ground. Well, last week we were seeing temperatures at 83 degrees. Will we have warmer temperatures back on the way, or is winter quickly approaching? All of your answers coming up in your Citrus TV 5-day forecast.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Heavy rain over the past week has lifted central New York out of extreme drought.
Over 5 inches of rain fell in the region between Thursday morning and Sunday night.
Despite the rain, over 85% of New York is still in moderate to severe drought.
The drought is not expected to completely end until the end of January. And the rain continued today after a dusting of snow last night. Will the winter weather continue into the weekend?
Citrus TV weather anchor Brendan Tierney is in studio tracking the storm. Brendan?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, kind of a disgusting day around campus today. We saw 38 degrees as our high with the wintry mix throughout the day. It was feeling between 15 and 25 degrees with that wind chill up here on the hill. Taking a look across the region, currently we're checking at 34 in Rome, 38 down in Cortland. A little bit further south, we're at 40 in Binghamton. So you're able to see on your radar the difference. We have rain west of Syracuse mainly, a bit of wintry mix in between, and then snow off to the far east. So below 32, you're hitting snow, a little bit of ice. Anything above that, we're seeing rain, and that's what we've been stuck with for most of today. Taking a look at your surface analysis map, you're able to see a cold front with a low pressure system. That's what's brought the moisture into the region after a pretty dry week overall. Once we got last week's storm out of here, luckily it won't be wet for the entire weekend, as we have just about a 50% chance of rain for the entire weekend. Taking a look at your future radar, you're able to see some rain through the region into the overnight hours. Luckily, that's out of here by about 1 or 2 a.m. Unfortunately, some snow and wintry mix does come back into the area by tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow we're calling for a bit of a chance of rain and snow throughout the day. Luckily, it's not a complete washout. Taking a look at your temperatures tonight, 36 degrees will be your low. Overcast with the rain tapering as we get through the evening hours. We're going to be feeling like 20 degrees with the winds coming out of the west. However, taking a look at your Citrus TV 5-day forecast, 44 degrees tomorrow, 55% chance of rain, 59 degrees on Saturday, another chance of rain throughout the day. Sunday, 51 degrees, and then Monday, warming back up. The rain's finally completely out of here by Monday, and then 63 on Tuesday, back above average for this time of the year.
Great. So it is Parents' Weekend, so are we looking at a big washout?
Unfortunately, there will be rain. Luckily, it's not a complete washout. We're checking about 55–60% chance of rain throughout the weekend. So grab a jacket or umbrella if you're doing so for parents in town, but luckily not a washout.
So with all this wild weather, what's the status of the La Nina season?
So unfortunately, that's strengthening again, which means we have a pretty strong winter on its way right now. It was stronger earlier this season. It's weakened a little bit, and it's coming back, so we might be in for a pretty harsh winter.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
A new report by the American Dental Association shows that low-income senior citizens are struggling to take care of their teeth. Medicare doesn't cover dental procedures unless they take place in a hospital.
Experts say seniors may go without dental checkups and procedures because they can't afford it. Advocates are lobbying for dental benefit to be added to Medicare. Deaths attributable to cigarette smoke are highest in the South. A new study analyzed data from all 50 states.
Researchers think that this is due to a variety of factors, including cheaper cigarettes and weaker tobacco policies. Smoking is still one of the leading causes of preventable death in the United States.
The Federal Communications Commission is requiring internet providers to get customers' permission to use their data, including web browsing, data, and app usage. This information is used for marketing purposes.
The broadband industry claimed the ruling was unfair, as Google and Facebook can still collect data. The industry argued that the ruling does not allow for fair competition. Twitter is making major changes today. The social media giant announced that it is cutting about 9% of its employees worldwide.
The company says it has almost 4,000 workers. It later revealed that it will cut its video social media program Vine. Apple also says it needs more time before it can sell its new wireless earbuds. The latest earbuds, called AirPods, are designed for the iPhone 7 that does not come with a headphone jack.
During its launch event last month, Apple said that the AirPods would go on sale in late October, but now the company says it is unsure when they'll be released. The company is also rolling out new MacBooks today for the first time in 4 years.
Boston College in their final game of the season, and women's basketball preseason rankings have been released. Stick around to see how the Orange fared and more coming up after the break.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
With fall sports starting to end, it's getting closer and closer to basketball season. Women's basketball preseason rankings were released, and the Orange ranked number 13 on the poll, the highest preseason ranking in program history. The Orange are coming off a tournament run that led to becoming the runner-up to the national champion title team, UConn. Following the record-breaking season, 4 starters will return to Syracuse. Senior guards Brittany Sykes and Alexis Peterson will lead the Orange in the 2016-2017 season. Syracuse will open their season at the Carrier Dome on November 11th against Rhode Island. And before fall sports come to an end, women's soccer will conclude their season up in Chestnut Hill today against Boston College. The Orange are looking for one more conference win to boost the record to 2 wins, while the Eagles are looking for their 3rd conference win. Syracuse last faced number 18 North Carolina in their home finale. The Orange would lose on senior day to the Tar Heels 1-3. Syracuse's Stephanie Skilton would score the lone goal for the Orange. Looking back on the season, Skilton currently leads the team in scoring with 6 goals, placing her in a tie for 2nd on Syracuse's all-time scoring list with Candy Reich. Starting goalie junior Courtney Brosnan currently has 82 saves in the season, ranking 2nd in the ACC in total saves. The Orange will face the Eagles at 7 p.m. And NBA opening week is ongoing, and with that, it has brought a Golden State upset against the San Antonio Spurs. But former Syracuse players have made their professional debut last night, including 2 Final Four starters. Former freshman guard Malachi Richardson suited up for the Sacramento Kings as they face Phoenix. Richardson would only see the court for 2 minutes in the 113-94 win versus the Suns. And former Bradford, now Detroit Pistons player Michael Benege saw 2 minutes as well versus the Toronto Raptors. Benege would score 2 free throws in the loss. Now let's bring it to the ice rink. The New York Rangers hosted the Boston Bruins at Madison Square Garden in an unlikely game. The Rangers were down 2-0 against the Bruins at the end of the first period. Just 10 seconds into the game, Bruins left wing Pastrnak would get past Lundqvist to put Boston on the board. But the Rangers took over the rink in the second period, scoring 3 goals, 2 on a power play to take the lead 3-2. In the third period, the Rangers would extend that lead even more, with Brandon Peary taking his second goal of the game, as well as a point from Jimmy Vesey. The Rangers would take the victory 5-2 against the Bruins. And Week 8 is officially here for the NFL. The weekend kicks off with a Thursday night matchup. Tennessee will host Jacksonville in the game. The Titans are coming off a 34-26 loss versus the Colts. Tennessee has lost to the AFC South rival 10 straight times. Over in Jacksonville, the Jags are also coming off a 33-16 loss against the Raiders. The two teams will be donning their color rush uniforms in the matchup, where Blake Bortles had some strong feelings about the Jags' mustard-colored uniforms. Bortles, in a teleconference with national media, stated that he is not a big fan of the mustard and thinks they're ugly.
After the break, a look at tomorrow's weather.
Citrus TV News will be back in 90 seconds.
Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning. Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back. So, Brendan, what are we looking at for tomorrow?
Well, let's take a look at your Citrus TV day planner. Not the nicest day on track for tomorrow. 38 degrees in the morning at 9 a.m. We're getting up to 41 at noon. We'll be about at 41 at 6 p.m. Rain will be coming into the area in the afternoon. We do have a chance of snow depending on where the temperature is at. Winds will be blustery again, just like today, coming out of the west at 20 miles an hour.
Now, Brendan, the last 2 days I've woken up to have snow in my car, which has put me in all kinds of bad moods. Is this a sign of things to come, or am I going to be feeling better when I wake up in the next couple mornings?
Luckily, that's a short-term pattern. It's not going to be that way next week. We're seeing temperatures in the 60s again, so there will be rain, luckily not snow.
Well, do you think that this is going to be a snowier winter than we've had before, even if it's not coming just yet?
Well, it's definitely looking like snowier than last winter, but not as bad as past winters as well.
All right, Brendan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
On this day in 1904, the New York City subway made its first run from Lower Manhattan to Harlem. New York City Mayor George McClellan drove the train for its inaugural run at 2:35 in the afternoon.
By 7 p.m., the public could ride the subway for a nickel per person. Over the next 10 years, the subway would expand to the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens. The
subway now has 26 lines with 468 stations. Every day, about 4.5 million passengers use the subway to move through the city. And that's all the news for now. Thank you for joining us this evening.
You can follow all Citrus TV news on all social media. Check us out at citrustv.com for more news. I'm Jackie Prager.
And I'm Alex Amico. Have a great night, Syracuse.